Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're going to look at Fairy Tail. But before getting into that, I've adjusted the angle of my camera because of where I'm at right now, and because I've really got blinds and not really got curtains, and we haven't really done all that in this house yet, or we'll have to just mess with the light. So you'll probably find that I'm a lot clearer, which means you can see all my imperfections and all my lovely shenanigans, but lighting will be a little bit out at the moment, so I will need to sort something out for that in the near future. Just bear with us for the time being. Also, I was planning to do World Trigger in replacement of Black Clover, because it seems that Black Clover is starting to be released and translated a lot earlier because of its increase in popularity, which I'm so happy about, which should hopefully lead to an anime. I know that the manga is coming in hardbook copy very soon, so I will be buying those, and I'll show you on the channel when I do. Volume 1 and 2 is what's out right now in English. Anyway, so I'm hoping to do that tomorrow, because at this rate, by the time I record this, render it and upload it, I'll basically have to go open my fast, and I'm normally lethargic after that. Plus then tomorrow I've got one more time for it. Anyway, I need to do the reviews on the Boku no Hero anime as well, so I will be doing that at some point this week, preferably Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we can move on to do the finale live on Sunday, providing I'm not sleeping, because I'm basically working six days a week while fasting, which is never good. Anyway, let's get on to the review. So, Fairy Tail chapter 490 was probably the more interesting chapter that's released today. Normally we have Fairy Tail and 7 Deadly Sins and Magi, but I'm not really reviewing Magi or up to date with Magi so much. I do read it, but I mean that's beside the point. So this is probably the more interesting chapter because of the aftermath of the last attack. So we knew initially the attack was set up to deal with Acnologia, but the ramifications or the ripple effect from this is a lot greater than we initially thought. It also gives us an idea of what's happened and sets up something interesting for me anyway. So I've got a few notes, so we'll kind of run through that. So let's start with the Mavis situation first. So Mavis starts off, Mavis is having the flashback about Zera. This was quite interesting because it started off with Zera and the chapter ended with Zera. I'll talk about Zera later. So it's the Zera dying scene, and it's talking about her being in a heart, and she wakes up to find Kana is not there, and everyone's basically vamooshed. She puts magic on herself to have some clothing, and then she runs into Zera. So effectively what's happened is, to cut long story short, Eileen has got rid of Acnologia and basically rearranged the whole map to put Zeref and Mavis together. It kind of reminds, there's that line, that pickup line, is if I could rearrange the alphabet I would put, I and you together, that kind of thing, and everything else gets jumbled. So it kind of reminds me of that stupid line for some reason. Effectively, there is limitations we find out because of this, because Eileen later on is seen in the castle and she didn't know how she got there, or she kind of didn't know where she was, which leads me to believe that although there are certain conditions that would be met by her magic, and this was the first time she was using it, she doesn't completely understand the magic, which shows how crazily powerful she is and amazing she is, because she literally just learned it for the first time and she used it for the first time, and to that great an extent where she changed the whole of Fiore to a 20th of its size and rearranged it in a way that it was never before, so that nobody can recognize it. So effectively everybody's jumbled up. I'll give you a bit of a breakdown. I made some notes. So Natsu, Lucy and Happy are together. They survived the attack because Natsu negated the attack because it was heat based, which is interesting because in the past we knew that he could deal with fire. Now there's more heat. You can see that it's going down the extension of the attributes of the spells that he uses, which hopefully will be something that he can benefit from in the future. So his techniques are becoming more advanced, not just battle techniques but defensive techniques as well. So just not offense but defense as well. So that was interesting to me because he was able to take an attack from him like that. Him meaning August. Speaking of August, He's actually seen fine with Brandish. He's all right with Lady Brandish. All of a sudden, she's removed the attack to make it smaller, and we have no idea where Mest is. So that's something interesting. Now, Grey, Erza, and Juvia together, they've kind of been separated from Wendy, so that's interesting. And the main guild has been joined by Lisana and Mirajane. No Elfman from what I can see in the chapter. I don't know if I missed him. But that's interesting because I think they'll need that power. Because if you look at all the main members now, they're not as powerful. What I mean by the main members, all the main members are scattered. The remaining members of Fairy Tail are all together. So what happens is it Biscus, I think his name is, the guy that uses the rifle gun magic. He notices that there's an army coming, and basically Makarov tells them to suit up. I ultimately think this is the army that Zeref was with. So the people that will be the person that will be leading this army will more than likely be Invel. So people have been moved around. They've been told that Acnologia has been moved to sea, so further away. So the idea was moving further away so he didn't interfere and get Mavis and Zeref together. We also, like I discussed the limitation, but we also see something about yes, he's not dead, he's just in hell apparently. Gajil is alive. He is alive, yes, he's alive. You don't understand. You really don't understand. I was gutted. I was not happy. I was considering doing some drastic shit. But he's alive. I'm happy. So it's still, I know there's 6 out there, Dragon Slayers, but he's still one of the 7. Anyway, he's walking, he wakes up, he doesn't realise what's going on, and he sees a type of mirage, type of spirit, type of thing, and all we hear a voice, and it's kind of worded out. Another resident of Hell, I see. And who is it? I am Zera. So that's what I meant earlier on. It was cool how they started with Zera and ended with Zera. It made it relevant for that to be the point. Now at some point there's got to be an explanation to why she's there. Is this going to be a situation like Mavis, because she's technically dead because of her magic? That's maybe the after effect, that she's only able to be around in that area. Maybe this magic is related to Zeref because maybe he taught this magic to the fellow that uses the magic, Bradman. That possibly is one of the things. It could also be a type of situation like we saw, what's her name now? That character from Grim Sosare, who control time. You know what? I hate when I forget names. This is live. I do not mess about. Grim Sosare members. Ultia. I didn't even get to the point where I needed to. But Ultia. So when we saw Ultia and she was in a space of time temporarily. I know that she was an older woman later on, but her young form, it might be something like that with Zara. Ultimately, I'd like to find out, and if she has any magic implications, she can use any type of magic. I'd greatly love to see it. I'd really love to see it. It'll be interesting. But anyway, that's a quick summary of what's going on. So like I said, I think Invil is the one that's leading the crowd against Fairy Tail to cut them out of the equation. Everyone else is still battling. We still haven't really seen Raheem fight. I want to see what he's all about. There's still a few members out there. August has been separate with Brandish. I think he's going to be temporarily out of the equation. What Natsu is up to, I don't know. Where the hell Mest is gone, I don't know. And will Oknologia be back very soon? I don't know. It is winding up. I've been told from one of my commenters before that this is probably second last or third last arc. The way they've got rid of Oknologia means that ultimately there'll be a new arc or there'll be an extension at the end. After that, we'll have to wait and see. In any case, that's all for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. I hope you loved the revelations. Hope you enjoyed the review. Give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below. Please subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. If not, keep watching my videos. Keep showing your support, and I'll see you next time.